Good evening, race fans. Welcome in to race number 6 here of the Affinity Racing Series. As always, here with my co-commentator in the booth, Art. How we doing tonight?
I'm excited for some left and right-hand turns here at Road America.
Definitely, like you said, first road course race of the season here at Road America. Got an interesting track here, 3.5 miles. And depending on who you ask, there's a different number of turns, but turn 2 on this track is not an actual turn. But nevertheless, we digress. 28 laps here, fuel run, going to have some strategy thrown in the mix. 10 to 13 laps. Was told by a couple of drivers pre-race that it is possible, maybe slightly, to stretch it to 14 and make this a one-stop race. 3 green-white checkers, as always. 0 fast repairs, 4 total sets of tires. They won't need them. We won't need the green-white checkers either. Only caution will be thrown if it's an absolute track blocker. So we should see this go flag to flag here this evening. So looking forward to that.
I mean, you never know. There are 32 drivers in the field.
Yeah, so
all it takes is one mistake into turn 1.
I'm very surprised that many people want to turn right, but I'm always happy to see it. We got a longer qualifying session tonight for the 2 laps, 10 minutes, obviously at a road course. And we'll just go ahead and show you some of the action. As we'll bring into the booth here again from the Innocent Lives Foundation, we will go ahead and get him up here right now. Nick Kelly, and he'll join us. Got Nick Kelly here from the Innocent Lives Foundation, and just going to bring him in for, I guess, kind of a mid-season update and just kind of see how things are going. We've already raised $600, and we're not even at the halfway. Well, I guess, this is one race before the halfway point, so we are well on track to hit our goal of $1,000 raised for this wonderful group of people.
How's it going?
Good. Happy to be here tonight, and glad we got to take some time and talk to you here tonight.
I'm super excited to see this track. This is like nothing that I've seen earlier this season. So it's and there's a couple of new paint schemes and everything. Like, I've just been enjoying the crap out of this whole season. It's been amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be a unique kind of race, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on the drivers here tonight. And we're excited to see how it unfolds. Going to be a lot of mistakes too from some people. It's a very unique racetrack, and it should make for a great race this evening.
Yeah, I'll be here. I'm excited. It's, I guess I have to mute Monday Night Football and listen to you guys because the broadcast, I love listening to you guys. It's been just so much fun. We're just so happy for everything that you guys have done for us.
Yeah, it's an absolutely wonderful partnership. You guys have kind of just gone full head on into it. We've seen the support from you guys in chat every week and in posts on social media, and it's just been a mutually beneficial partnership for everybody. And we're raising some money for a great cause, and everyone's coming in here having a good time. I just wanted to we got some new people from the ILF coming in every week, and this is probably the first time some of them have seen eNASCAR. What is your takeaway from that and what you've seen in the first 5 races thus far?
So I got approached by our chief operating officer, Captain Hammer, and he said, "Hey, we got this request from this racing league. Would you want to take point on this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm all over it. This is perfect. This is like what I do, with Discord and Twitch and there's only like 2 or 3 of us to do anything on Twitch among the volunteers for ILF." So then it was talk to Michael, meet you guys, come on, talk about what ILF does, how we help identify child predators online and bring them over to law enforcement. And then we had this weird string of our chief of staff was on one week and he was like, I've never seen anything like this. And then our CEO was on week 2 when the overlay software went down, and it was, IHOP versus Waffle House.
that was certainly an interesting broadcast.
And then when I was in Vegas week before last, our chief operating officer came on and he was like, this is really cool. So I think it's just something that a lot of the folks haven't seen before. I mean, we're all in technology, but we're not in necessarily the esports part of technology. And so I think that they were really blown away just by how realistic it is, how professional it is. I mean, the broadcast team's great. The behind the scenes crew is amazing. All the stuff that the I don't want to say drama, but all the other stuff that happens, it's just such a great product that you guys put out, and it's been infectious. Every time one of us comes, they're like, oh man, no, you really should. Nick's not the only one. You really should come check this out.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been a great season thus far, and we just greatly appreciate all the work by the admin team behind the scenes, the drivers, and then obviously the outreach and getting people on board with the charity this season. And then the support has been absolutely incredible. $600 last time I checked, and it's just an absolutely amazing deal that we got going on here, and I'm just happy to be part of it.
On behalf of ILF, we totally appreciate it's all net new to us, and as a nonprofit, especially coming out of COVID. Anytime someone shows up out of the blue and they're like, hey, we'd like to raise some money for you. Really? Okay. Well, so it's the least we can do to send a chucklehead like me, to enjoy this. And then now that I'm watching them, I'm like, I would have done this anyways.
Yeah, it's a good time, but I just wanted to hear how things were going on the ILF side. I know you guys have had some recent events. If you just want to quickly kind of let us know where things are with you guys, and if you got any upcoming events that we should be aware of.
Yeah, anybody who wants to go to innocentlivesfoundation.org, we have our big End Child Exploitation formal gala this weekend coming up in Burbank. If you can't be in Burbank and rub elbows with the celebrities out there, we do have an online auction. I will pimp my own donation, which is an Orange Amplifiers bass amp signed by all the guys in Clutch. So that's up there. There's a really nice bottle of bourbon signed by Aisha Tyler. There's just some really cool things up there. So that's one thing. And then we immediately start the prep work for our big online streaming fundraiser, ILF Fest, which will be 2023 with a comic book theme this year. And so we're really excited and maybe reaching out to see if we can partner again on something like that.
Yeah, definitely some awesome things in the work, and obviously for a great cause, an honorable cause. And just excited to see where the partnership leads us the rest of the season and to see how much money we can raise. We have the donation link pinned in the chat, so if you haven't already, go ahead and check that out. Check out innocentlivesfoundation.org and be sure to tune into their socials to stay updated with all the great work that they got going on, and just appreciate them coming out and supporting us, and we look to support them in any way that we can.
Hey, thanks for having us again, and I'll be in chat. I can't wait to see how this race goes.
All right, we'll appreciate you taking the time out of your night to come talk to us. Sit back and enjoy the race.
Okay.
Again, that was Nick Kelly from the Innocent Lives Foundation. Always enjoy talking to him.
It really is awesome to hear his take on it, and hearing our fearless leader, Michael McElroy, the owner of the league, and what he has done to get us in connection with people like that. And what he's done to welcome new people in, that is awesome.
Yeah, it's getting more eyes on the eNASCAR side of things, which is always good, growing our hobby, and then obviously bringing attention to the important work that they do. So it's a mutually beneficial partnership, and we couldn't be happier to work with them. While all that was going on, we have Dylan Herviton on pole in his season debut. He ran up front pretty much every time he showed up last season, but he was running a part-time schedule, and this is his first start tonight, and he put it on pole.
I feel incredibly betrayed. That man was running for YG Media last year. He decided, it's not he decided to not come back. He has work obligations, so I understand it. But he comes back, and he's on a crew.
Yeah, made the switch. Didn't notify us. I'm just saying. But yeah, quick pace lap here. So we have 27 cars, 2 in the pits currently. So we're gonna come up the hill here at Road America. First road course race of the season. We already have an off track. And we are green here at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Nick Miller on the front row.
Caution is out?
Yep.
Did they...
And that is a new one. Looks like Nick Miller might...
Hey, we have to delay the green because people weren't able to get in line properly.
Ah.
So...
This is an update from Corbin Simmons and Race Control. Much appreciated.
So just so you guys know, that's why we're delaying the green.
All right. Probably should have delayed it before we went green, just FYI, but...
I did not know we were that close to the line, honestly. So,
but it's a quick pace lap, and there's Ryan Tiller off the racetrack before the race even starts. So there goes his 0x bonus. So in the 100 feet, and I can see why the second half of the field was broken up. Let's just back this up. I have a feeling that people really didn't understand, you know, how quick this pace lap would be. They start him on the backstretch. And, yeah, guys just kind of slow away. And it spread out the field. And guys in the pits not able to make the start of the race. It looks like, 27 got lined up initially. And let's take a look here. And, yeah, you can see they're all single file. And not cut up in time in the front half of the field. Yeah, I mean, there's a huge gap there. It kind of looks like, yeah, I mean, and there's Ryan Tiller. He's pushing to kind of catch up to the field. And that was like, it was split right down the middle. Like, you see the first 6 or 7 rows, and like, people were trying to fall in late. And that was a wild one. So we will re-rack them. That's good news for Travis DeLeon and Daniel Pendergrass, as they are going to be able to get caught back up to the back of the field. They started from pit lane. Casey,
that was a choice.
Yeah, Casey Brown and Drew Joie were here at one point, not here now, so it looks like we'll have 30 drivers here tonight.
I believe I can confirm at least one of these. Casey Brown should be in the race later. He's getting off work. Or wait, no, I think his son's baseball game.
Ah.
So it runs kind of late. It takes him a time to get home. So they signed him in, registered him for the race.
And he'll just come in and log some laps later and hope to kind of, yeah.
We get some people, we're already throwing cautions. So if we get some people, out here and there, there's a good chance he could pick up some spots.
Yeah, this is a 3.5 mile racetrack. So it takes a minute to get everything lined up and to get around this place under pace speed.
Max, do you think you're a boogity man?
I can definitely make that happen. I love Darrell Waltrip. So we can...
He's a boogity man.
Yes. Long live DW. Yeah, but unofficially, there is 14 turns here for this 3.5 mile track. I think 2 of them necessarily don't count, but that's just me. But 14 turns.
Who counts turns?
I mean, this is the track map is 14 turns, but turn 2, it's like a not even anything, so. Oh well. But we got an interesting perspective here tonight. Let's go on board here with Cabe McClenny.
No, is it our first feet cam?
We got the pedal cam. We'll use the professional term, sir. But he has provided us with our first ever pedal cam. It's a lot different on a road course. The style, with the steering obviously turning right, but with the braking inputs and the clutch work, it's a lot different. So we'll see that tonight. So that's a unique
Did he not also provide a face cam as well?
He did not. He did this instead of the face cam.
We need to get better. Be able to show both.
He only provided one. I guess he moved his camera to show the pedals, but we're not going to force people to get a different webcam. But right now, you can see this is actually going to drastically shake up the race. You can see there, he's putting the clutch in. He is trying to save fuel. And this should allow most everybody to get right around that lap 14 mark that they need to save some fuel. But it looks like, oh, we're still not ready to go back green, it looks like, somehow, some way. But we will have the track map on tonight as well. The difference in pace tonight is going to be ridiculous for certain drivers. Some people love turning right, and then others, it's like the last thing on their mind. So it is going to be very spread out at a certain point. We will just do our best to kind of keep on track of that and find out where your favorite driver is. Right now, we're just kind of trying to get everything re-racked.
Yeah, supposedly one to green next time by.
So what happened here under yellow? Looks like Travis De Leon just taking a stroll through the grass. And then what happened? The speeds were so low under the pace that it said that Michael McElroy had wrecked. But let's just take a look very quickly at this beautiful race car from William Bowman. I mean, it does not get better than this.
It very easily does.
It does not.
Literally any other car in the
But he's got it going on. He'll be the focus of our camera work tonight.
Man can't watch Monday Night Football, so he's going to watch the Steelers car.
It is currently 4th and 1. Browns have the ball at midfield. Very concerned that they're going to go for it here. Browns absolutely cannot catch the football.
As long as they don't start running it, my fantasy team will be okay.
Yeah. So Boswell, we only got 7 points, and he's only got the extra point, so it's not looking good for my fantasy team. As a matter of fact, ooh, we are actually somehow winning. Now that's interesting. Oh, oh. So I'm going to maybe win in the league that I didn't think I was going to and lose in the one I thought I was going to. And now that's fascinating. I'm intrigued by this. All right, but we're coming to 1 to green here. And sure enough, the Browns went for it on 4th and 1 and converted because... yeah. We are winning after the first quarter. Cannot say that about last week. San Francisco 49ers did as they pleased with us. We showed literally zero fight. But lights are off on the pace car. We'll go back to green flag racing next time by, and this has changed the complexion of this race. I'm confused on how Pendergrass and De Leon are a lap down. Because...
they're not?
okay, it just finally updated for me. Like it was showing them a lap down, and I'm like, they started from pits. The caution came out on lap 1, and they didn't. Yeah, like that was weird. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to make sure we weren't crazy, but 30 cars all on the racetrack, all on the lead lap. Fastest lap of the race is Daniel Pendergrass, 3 minutes 57 seconds.
I like saying that you're not crazy is a bit of a stretch there, though.
Are we going to end up with a single file restart here? Or are they just not getting formed up until later?
I think it's more along the lines of just not wanting to be formed up right now.
'Cause it does look like they're too wide further back. And they are. It just looks like the top couple of drivers just kind of... It gets tight in these 90-degree corners. I mean, if you're side by side with somebody, even under yellow, it kind of gets a little sketchy, so you got to pay attention at all times. I mean, look, they're just snaking their way through.
I just can't wait for the first full speed
Corner.
entry into corner one.
Turn 1 is one of the quickest corners in terms of entry speed on the track, and it's a pretty difficult right-hander. So we'll see who makes it through even the first corner at speed. Like I said, we went about 100 feet, and it was really over from there. But yeah, this is the accordion effect that we're talking about. If you're Travis De Leon, again, I think that was a choice to start from pit lanes because he's one of the guys that doesn't enjoy road course racing. He's off the track there again. But they're already 16 seconds behind the leader just because of the way it snakes. That'll close up a little bit, but field spread is something to watch because we know Cade McClenny, he was quick in practice. He's been quick throughout the season in the Next Up series and when he gets invited here. But he has a lot of work to do. Look for somebody like an Alex Chira, Kyle Ritchie. They kind of specialize at this style of road course racing. Dylan Herviton definitely does. Nick Miller always quick. Interesting to see Brandon Bowers down in 10th. We know he's especially fast at the road courses, so a bit further back. I thought he'd have a top 5.
Qualifying times though, like he's not that, like outside of the top 2, he's not that far back. We've just got some like aliens out there on the top 2.
It has definitely improved the road course quality, but say this will be something to watch. Like the leaders are gonna, well, it depends on where this restart zone is, but you see the last guys are snaking their way through the turns, and the leaders are about to be on the start finish straight, so that will be something to monitor. But the pace car is off. This is technically the restart, but it will serve as the initial start of the race. Everyone looks to be formed up. They head up the hill. Dylan Herviton and Nick Miller. And we are underway. Boogity, boogity, boogie. Let's go racing. We head off into turn number 1. 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Kyle Ritchie. He backs out of it. Dylan Herviton under braking.
Someone already around. I believe that's the 54 of Zach Amon. I think he got shoved off.
And he's into the tire barriers. Right rear damage for him. And Dylan Herviton, your race leader. He's going to spin from the lead. Incredible. Nick Miller takes control. And it's going to collect several cars further back as we battle for the race lead. Sartaj Mann and Nick Miller teammates down into the heavy braking zone, the 90-degree left corner. Tentative from the teammates, but the 27 has the inside line, and he'll take the lead. Kyle Ritchie spins. He was 4th, and now he'll be off the racetrack. He's going to have to let everybody go by, and that will demote him all the way down the field. Your pole sitter down in 27th. He'll get one back, but what a start. And there's the wreck. Joshua McQuiggan, Thomas Green. And let's take a look at what happened here on the opening lap. Just cold tires, and he loops it into the grass. Hunter Rupp nowhere to go, and then it's just all bottleneck. There's Dylan Failvich. Take one more look from the eye in the sky. No contact whatsoever. He just drives it in there too deep. Around he goes. Andy Arms barely sneaks through. Jacob Blakely on that outside sneaks through. Let's take a look here as well at what happened to... It was Zach Amon that you said as well that went right off the racetrack. He's got Brandon Bowers behind him. That's a terrible angle through the trees. Oh, and he moves right into the path. He was trying to make a move.
Wow. I had not seen that, man. He just turns himself.
I mean, there was a big check up there from the 00, and he's trying to take evasive action. So that's actually 3 or 4 cars ahead of him, and he gets turned into the gravel trap, and he'll be back out on the racetrack.
I mean, you talked about Brandon Bowers starting 10th. Look at him now.
He's up 7 positions. in one lap. He heard the disrespect and said, all right, I see how it is. And I'm going to put myself right up into the podium. It's 10 seconds back to 11th. And
Magnus Anderson is up 20, by the way.
And he's rocking the patriotic paint scheme. 20 positions, the big mover by far. He was able to make it through both wrecks. And he's up inside the top 10. Cade McClenny, he's up from the back. Obviously not able to qualify with him being a next up driver. My goodness.
Fun. We also have a fun little battle. The name of today's race, the Battle for TGR CEO. Jonathan Dolly and Devin Gavin actually going at it. Devin Galvin.
Yeah, they had a nice little inter-team rivalry going on this week. They said whoever finishes highest of the team will be in charge of the team. And I think the TGR boys will be the first to tell you as that is Jonathan Short's around. He'll rejoin. Let's see if he got any help. Oh, he's just on the rumble strips, and around he goes. And that was Chris Pinder saying, how do you do? Let me just keep on going. But up at the front, it is a 4-car battle for the win, just like the Singapore Grand Prix yesterday. It is 4 cars under a blanket for the race win. They're going to have to be perfect. One little slip up, and you see how costly it is. Your pole sitter, 21st. Kyle Ritchie, 24th after starting 4th. And Zach Amman, I think he's out of the race. He's 29th and not on the racetrack. But with that comes some big movers as well. Justin Johnson is up 12 positions. Devin Galvin up 15. Andrew Tenold up 11. Brandon Bowers was able to get around Nick Miller for P2. Let's take a look at how he did it.
I believe he's the fastest man on track right now.
And Miller just went a little bit wide there through Canada corner. And Bowers sneaks through. Good heads-up move there. Still 4 cars separated by just a second and a half, which is pretty incredible at a road course. Cade McClenny is actually the quickest one on the racetrack, 2:12.1. And he is flying 10 seconds behind the race leader. Let's go on board with him, and we'll show you the pedal cam at speed. Very nice and easy on the throttle and consistent under braking. You see, he just has to kind of wait on it through that long right-hander, the sweeping curve. He just kind of has to let it roll a little bit. And here through the kink, you'll just have to lift off. And you just kind of hope it sticks at that point. One of the most treacherous corners on the entire calendar.
There's got to be someone out here who sponsors socks.
But it is Sartaj Man, half of a second over Brandon Bowers from Nick Miller and Alex Chira. As they blast out of the last corner and head down the long front stretch. And Andrew Tenold is off the racetrack. Into the gravel, the sand trap. Just showing you how treacherous it is.
Oh, he just cooks it trying to get around the 78 of Kyle Ritchie.
And now Magnus Anderson. He's the quickest car on the racetrack. He's 7.5 seconds back. Trying to put Hunter Rupp under pressure. A little bit of a lockup there from the 00. And he's trying to put the 91 of Jarrett Talmadge under pressure. A little bit of damage on the front of that 00 from the opening lap crash.
Magnus Magnus Anderson, a road course, remember? Question mark? Hey man, we gotta diversify the audience. Who said you recorded this, Corbin?
This is a good little 3-car battle here. Hunter Rutt looking for his second top 5 of the season. Magnus, best time of a 2:11.6. And Brandon Bauer.
Would you like to have your feeling shirt?
Steelers turnover? Yeah, I believe it. I watched it.
Browns fumbled. Steelers get the ball. First play penalty, second play fumble.
You know, I'm not surprised by any of that. Oh well, looks like Brandon French has had an incident. Let's see here. Down into the heavy braking zone. Let's take a look at what happened here to the 2 machine. He just drove really deep on the brakes, and oh, Jacob Blakely almost collected into him. Ooh, we have an incident here. Casey Brown has made it on to the racetrack for his first lap and right off of it. And Jonathan Dolly as well. Just the same incident for all 3 of them, just carrying too much speed into the braking zone. Speaking of the braking zone, Brandon Bowers right on the back bumper of the 27. You saw the brake rotors glowing red there. And he is desperate to find a way through. But it's all about being consistent. And being there at the end. And there's so many off tracks that keep happening. Joshua McQuiggan. He was going through the kink, overcooks it a little bit, and that's a dangerous spot to carry too much speed through. Here's Chris Pinder as well. 17 machine carries too much speed. Jacob Blakely. I think it's a common theme here. Too much speed locks up. Chris Pinder again off the racetrack. It's just another similar incident. Oh, too much speed. Ryan Tiller involved as well. That's actually an incident there.
We can't be involving the YJ Media cars.
And these are teammates, Casey Brown and Randy Arms. You can just see the brake rotors, how hot they are already. And around goes the 5 machine. I'll give him some massive credit, though. He came into this race ice cold from a baseball game. A little slip up there for the leader through the kink. Brandon Bowers, this is the closest he's been yet, but he's not going to have the inside line. It might not matter. Contact!
Aggressive lunge around the outside. He's going to open the door for Nick Miller.
And he was trying to outbrake him there. I think he'll hold off second, though. He's got the preferred line. And he'll have to find a way around that 27 being stubborn in defense. That was a good example of defending on the road course, just holding the inside line. Try and make your opponent go the long way around, and it wasn't going to work. It's still a 4-car battle here. Alex Chira in the 9 has just kind of sat right at 1.5 seconds, just kind of watching all of this unfold.
I can't wait till the likes of Magnus Anderson and Cade McClinney are able to make their way up towards the front.
Cade McClinney all the way up to 7th. He's putting Jarrett Talmadge under pressure.
Magnus with a top 5, but he's still 10 seconds back of the leaders.
What other close battles do we have? It gets so spread out. Ryan Tiller is on pit road from that incident. And he was just waiting for pit road to clear. Or pit entrance to clear. Jacob Blakely in pit road, as is Daniel Pendergrass. And Jacob Blakely, he's been on there for about a minute and a half now.
I want to say, if the joke in chat from Corbin isn't original, it's actually really funny. Casey Brown is not having a good time here tonight.
Yeah, coming in ice cold, and he's giving it his best shot. He'll get a couple of positions, but I love how the closest battle on track is for the race lead. There's something so fitting about that. And again, here comes the 27. He's going to defend the inside here. Going to force Bowers all the way to the grass. A huge lockup. Can he cross him over? Yes, he can. 27 goes deep. He'll lose 2 spots. Bowers applied the pressure. Now here comes Nick Miller.
Applying the pressure. They're banging. Miller.
And around goes Nick Miller. Bowers holds the lead. Aggression from Nick Miller. Let's take another look down to the inside. He was trying to take advantage, and he is there to the inside, and it's just so aggressive, hot on the brakes, just gets a little loose, slides up into him, and he's got a lot of work to do now. 4 seconds back, but giving Brandon Bowers clean air at a racetrack of this nature, of a road course, is probably the worst thing you can do for the field. But Sartaj Man doing a nice job just keeping with him. He was leading this race in its entirety up until then. He just made a slight mistake in the braking zone. Went a little wide, and it cost him. You can see on the track map there are people all over the racetrack. Hunter Rupp, Jarrett Talmadge into the heavy braking zone, downhill, and the double zero is going to get turned. Off the bumper of the 91. He'll lose a handful of positions. Randy Arms going to pick up the pieces of that battle and move into the 7th position. And he'll try and drive away. Around goes Dylan Herbertson, your pole sitter again. Let's take a look at what happened, and he's got big damage, and it just not the race that he expected starting from the first position. Andrew Tenold off the racetrack again. And it's hard to dedicate practice time to a road course when it's not a big part of many leagues' schedules. It's not a part of NASCAR as much as the ovals and super speedways that dominate the schedule. It's becoming more popular in recent years, but this is not a track that many people have scheduled. It's not in their wheelhouse to kind of focus on. Yeah, I mean, you can see it. Brandon Brown is your race leader. If you go to 10th, it's a 28-second gap as Hunter Rupp off the racetrack again in tows. Let's take a look at what happened. It's all kind of gone wrong for him in the last lap, and he just cooks it into the tire barriers, and he tows to pit road. And Magnus Anderson's going to take this time. He'll come down and stop.
Herbertson's still struggling out there.
So this is an interesting strategy. I don't know if he thinks he can make it or not. But he's going to take tires as well. Nick Miller has responded. He's just set the new fastest lap of the race, 2:11.65. And he is now 3.5 seconds off the lead, so he's closing back in. Magnus will rejoin the race in the 16th position, so we'll see how this strategy works out for him. Quicken off in the first turn. Got a good battle here between Kyle Ritchie and Devin Galvin. They're heading down to that huge left-hand braking zone downhill. Devin Galvin doesn't put up much of a fight. The 88 of Failvich with a late move. Kind of caught the 95 napping there, and he'll take the spot away as well. Great opportunistic move. You got to be opportunistic on a road course. You got to force others into mistakes and kind of limit them yourselves. It's far more punishing than the mistakes we've seen here tonight. Oh, Brandon Bowers, he looked loose through that corner. He looked so sideways on the entry under braking there. And here's his teammate. There's James Jimmy Fillers. He runs wide on the kink. It's so much to keep up with. And even your race leader, he's been off the racetrack twice already. So even the leader of the race, not immune from a mistake. But right now, Chris Pinder, he's running 23rd. He's been off the racetrack 13 times. He will be the first to tell you that this style of racing is not for him.
I believe we have our second disconnect. Zach Ahmed was the first. Hunter Rupp is our second.
I think Casey Brown is still out there, so he's got the opportunity to pick up more spots. Jonathan Dolly and Michael McElroy off the track. That's a dangerous spot. Let's see. Did they just follow each other off the racetrack through the kink? Yes, they did. That's big damage for both of them.
Ooh.
I'm shocked they're still able to continue. Here's Devin Galvin and McQuiggan in. Magnus gonna have to save fuel to make that strategy work.
Oh no.
But now, Brandon Bowers, 1.7 seconds clear. And it's starting to get spread out like we expected. Keep our eyes here. These are teammates on Tuesday nights, Jonathan Schwartz and Tony Scarbo. 58 chasing the 59.
Brandon Bowers is coming in. Do we know who has had the most incidents in a race?
And Nick Miller's going to follow him in.
What was that?
It is 16 to go. So I guess they think they can save enough fuel. The guys that we talked to pre-race said it was only about 10 to 13 laps on a fuel run, but we shall see. But obviously the race leader is going to have a decent idea on his strategy.
As far as I can tell, the most incidents in Season 2 so far was 17. And I believe that was Daytona.
Bowers will win the race off pit road. Got traffic to deal with, but he manages it pretty well. With the way that the setups work and the way that the car is designed, it is actually quicker to not take tires on your pit stop. The older your tires are at a road course, the better they grip up to the racetrack. Whereas you take new tires and it's going to take them longer to get gripped up. Magnus Anderson back in the top 10. His early pit stop on lap 10. I don't know if he'll have enough fuel to the end.
Yeah, like you're talking about how long it takes tires to get warmed up, because we saw the effects of it literally on lap 1. Or
yeah, corner number 1, Dylan Herbertson, your pole sitter. Cold tires went off into the third turn, and around he went. Oh, that got close on the pit exit. Kevin Galvin flying, and around goes the 22. He did, in fact, take tires.
He's gonna walk away with, I think, the most incidents ever in an ARS race. Because right now the most I've seen has been 28.
I would like to say I deserve some credit there for pointing out the cold tires and then him proving it literally immediately after the pit stop for me.
But we knew that.
I'm just saying he reinforced it. But here comes... Oh, and they're going to race even all the way on pit entry. This is disastrous for the 9. Brandon French tentative on pit exit or pit entry. It'll cost the 9 machine some time to Sartaj. Man, I get it though from the 2. It's a very weird pit entrance. It's not an easy commitment line to find. It's very easy to speed here on the entrance to pit road.
Oh no. I have found the record for most incidents in a single ARS race. It is 40.
Oh.
It was I believe Daytona
Oh dear.
for our favorite race car driver.
Who's
Nick
our...
Cash.
Oh, man. He is no longer in the league, so... He did not... Yeah, but Brandon Bowers, after that cycle of pit stops, he opens up a 4-second lead. As kind of everything is being reset. Magnus into 4th, so his early pit stop is paying off for him. He's nowhere near the race lead. But that's just because how good Brandon Bowers is at these racetracks. And I think the 9 is serving a penalty here.
Is he too hot coming in?
But he was the one stuck behind French, so I don't know how he would have been fast on the entrance. But that he's down into 13th now from a top 5 position. Jonathan Schwartz is out, so everyone has completed their pit stop except for Pinder. And Casey Brown, who started late, so he's got a little bit more fuel on board. So waiting on 2 guys to commit to their pit stop. Let's go on board here with Andrew Tenold. He also provided his driver cam, not the pedal cam.
They do actually have ILF socks.
That's incredible. But, like...
They are sold out, though.
That's funny. But we'll give you it's a good... we can do that. It makes more sense. We'll go on board here. And you can see the steering's a little bit bent off to the right there. We'll just take you a lap on board here, show you the inputs, and he'll freely admit that this is not his style of racing. And you can see there, a little wide into turn number 1, having to fight the wheel there, trying to stay out of the way of the race leaders as well at the same time. Which is being very tentative, trying to minimize mistakes. And you see the shrug there. It's just kind of like, yeah, we would like to get back to an oval. But I understand it. I really do.
Hey, at least it's not Watkins Glen.
It could be so much worse. But there's literally an incident happening somewhere each and every lap. And this is guys inside the top 10. There goes Talmadge off the racetrack. I mean, it's... Sartaj Mann hasn't been off the racetrack, nor has Cabe McClenny. There goes Pinder in the background off. This 05 machine. Got the new paint scheme today. Who else hasn't been off the racetrack? Justin Johnson, so we'll give them their due. And I jinxed it for Cabe McClenny. He is now off the racetrack.
Do I get credit for not being on the racetrack?
Yes.
Let's go.
But Chris Pinder,
that would be a weapon.
I mean, 18 times off track for him, 12 for Pinder, 12 for William Bowman. He's in the top 20, though, so, I mean, he'll take it at that point. You know, you kind of just do with what you can. As he went off right there, Dylan Herviton, deep into the braking zone. It passes the 58. That was a bit aggressive.
I think Herviton might have a suspension coming. I know if you get, like, so many incidents, like, it's a problem, and that man is pushing the limit right now.
Well, if his intention was to run the road course race, he doesn't have to worry about it.
I don't even think this was just his intention. I think he was just free today.
But the battle for the win right now, 4.5 seconds back to Nick Miller, so it's comfortable for Brandon Bowers. His teammate less comfortable. Jonathan Dahle follows him right off the racetrack. And a lot of it is that, like, you'll see somebody and you're trying to follow them. Like, here's an example. Let's go find Dahle. You're just trying to follow the person in front of you and match their line. So if the person in front of you overcooks a little bit, there's a good chance that you do as well. It's just the style of road course racing and people just trying to make the best of it. You see, he's got some steering damage as well. So that's not helpful here on a road course with so many turns. And again, he's just so much input there. Just trying to hang on to it.
We might have a battle here for 4th place. Magnus is not that far behind Cade McClenny.
He's only been off the track once, as has Cade. So they're both doing a nice job.
If you had to pick a road course to race yourself in these cars, which one would it be?
I know this is going to be very ironic coming from me, but it would be Watkins Glen.
I mean, it is a very nice track. It's very simple to learn.
It flows well. It's actually not that difficult to learn. There's only a couple of braking points that are extreme. But
and you didn't do that in these cars.
I did not.
For context, you're starting to make Max relive this. Max was winning a lead race in the Gen 6 cars, had a hefty lead, and threw it away all by himself in the carousel.
I did.
Yes.
Indeed, I did.
You like to make fun whenever, like, we mention the Draft Hard 300, you get Watkins Glen.
That's fine. Brandon Bauer is the only man into the 2-minute 10-second bracket, so he is flying along currently.
I don't even know if we saw those times in the practice session last night.
He's dealing with a little bit of lap traffic there. Got a little close for comfort, probably what he would have wanted.
Who is the best NASCAR road course ringer that's not a regular, or who wasn't a regular?
Shane Van Gisbergen.
I mean, he's done it once, twice.
Boris said was always pretty fun. He was an absolute junk equipment too, and still did pretty well.
I think the only thing I remember from Boris said is, what was it, an incident at Watkins Glen?
Yeah, who did he absolutely junked somebody and caused a massive wreck. So that was kind of funny.
Can I call Robbie Gordon a road course ringer?
No.
Dang.
He was full time.
I think so was Marcus Ambrose. And Juan Pomelo.
Right.
AJ Allmendinger there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Would we consider Andy Lally a ringer?
Honestly, yes. At his current stage. He was full-time there for a couple of years. In pretty junk equipment, but... I mean, there's just so many people going off the racetrack. It's kind of like there's no battles on the racetrack, and then all of a sudden there is because people just go off the racetrack and they lose so much time. This is the closest battle right here. That's an audacious move into the kink there. I didn't actually realize that was very brave. Very, very brave there from the 9, and he gets it done into the 11th position. That was honestly one of the moves of the race. As there goes Brandon French into the sand trap. Chris Pinder has been off the racetrack 23 times. Brandon French 17. It's just this is a difficult road course, and I do not envy the position of some of these drivers. Even Bauer's there. There was a little slip there. But he is still comfortably ahead. "11 laps to go," which is a long time here at Road America. 2-minute lap times. Closest battle on the racetrack, William Bowman and Michael McElroy. Currently. The biggest mover is Magnus Anderson, currently up 24 positions. And he is 3 seconds off of Cabe McClenny.
I think we have another close battle on track here for 8th. Talmadge and Thomas Green.
And those are teammates. McElroy continuing to close in on that 53 machine here, inside the top 20. The 83 bruised and battered. He's going to get a nice draft. This front stretch is actually long enough for a draft to matter slightly. You can get pulled down the front straightaway a little bit. Yeah, and I thought so. Magnus is going to have to come in and pit again. He pitted on lap number 10. So I'll be very curious to see what everybody else. Randy Arms is in the 8 machine. But, I mean, there's such a big gap back to some of these other drivers. They might not lose that much time, especially Magnus. He's already out. They'll still maintain decent track position.
We lost Nick Miller.
Oh, no.
Once again, due to upload packet loss.
And he called it pre-race. He said, I can't wait to drop from the server again. And they're going to come out in some traffic. Slightly, but they'll be okay. Chris Pinder and Dolly. This is for the 23rd position. Dolly going to make a late move here into the braking zone of turn number 1. Pinder goes a little bit deeper. He does keep it all 4 wheels on the racetrack this time. Dolly going to try again down into turn number 3 here. And just try and apply the pressure. They both got beat up race cars and have been off the track a couple of times. Evan Galvin is in for his final stop of the night. Michael McKay. Oh, huge damage to the right front of that race car. And his day could be done. And it, again, is just plowing into the right side here. Through the fast right-hander, the kink, big left side damage, and then big right side damage. And he tows immediately.
We could potentially get a word from him.
From Michael McElroy?
Yeah, why not?
If you want to
What do
bring
you
it.
think?
Ah.
I think it'd be funny.
He's muted currently, so. But yeah, he overshot that corner by a lot, to put it nicely. But that is one of the most difficult corners. That corner is annoying to take in a Formula car when you have loads of downforce on it, not in a couple-ton stock car. Lumbering beast. Cabe McLean, I'm interested. He took just left side tires there. Kyle Ritchie is in. So it looks like this was a 2-stop race. Interestingly enough, no one was able to save enough fuel. I appreciate taking them to a road course, though. Oh, big trouble! Out of the pits! Cabe McClenny rejoined right in front of Magnus Anderson. And right behind Alex Chira. Oh, and that wasn't even anything to do with Cabe. Oh, man.
They just both went in
They
sideways.
just absolutely cooked that corner. They were trying to get around the 05, who had just come out of the pits. The 9 would have been okay, but the 7 just flew in there. I'm the 7, I'd probably give that back, but again, this is entirely different style of race, and it's curious to watch it on a stock car, where in F1 that would have been like, hey buddy, you give the penalty back, or you give the position back immediately, you get a penalty. So it's such a different style.
I mean, you could always go out there and get your position back.
Yeah.
But
see, that's the kind of move, right? Oh, and the 88 loose under braking, but he'll get the move done. Maybe not. He does not get the move done. Filler's fighting back, and that's a good point. The brake rotors on the 7 were absolutely as red as it gets. They were.
When he's off track, he's still fighting the car.
They were working some overtime there, and it still wasn't enough. Looks like the 10 actually does hold position. There are some decent battles now on the racetrack. We'll see if the 9 does anything to try and get him back. He was ahead of him before that. He just kind of got hit out the way. But my goodness, what a race this has been. We've been to Watkins Glen before, and that was a little chaotic, but everyone kind of, held serve there. But this is just almost impossible to keep up with. And the 9's going to have to come in and pit. Actually, this will be his second stop of the night, so this is scheduled for him.
I want to give a little warning to anyone who has not been keeping up with Monday Night Football. Do not watch the Nick Chubb injury.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're still losing, aren't we? Right?
By 1. I think y'all just scored.
Oh, did we hit a field goal? Oh, we absolutely hit a field goal. W. Boswell. 50-plus yarder. I'm actually going to Mickey Mouse a win. That's funny. Oh, we might do it. Derek Carr, thank you for not performing as an athlete. Look at the teammates still chasing after each other here. Planet Sim Esports having a solid night, 5th and 4th. As this is the closest battle on the racetrack, and then Alex Chira, Dylan Failvich, Jonathan Dolly right there as the lap car not for position. And the 88 says, I got to get through. I got someone ahead of you that I am fighting for position. Let's take a look here. Let's just try and reset this. So it looks like we have... I'll wait for the official scoring confirmation. Dylan Herbertson top 10. What a rebound for him. There are 15 cars on the lead lap. Back to Tony Scarbo. McQuiggan 1 lap down. Devin Galvin 1 lap down. Tenold, Tiller, Dolly, Bowman multiple laps down. Miller out of the race. Chris Pinder still chugging along, as is Brandon French. Michael McElroy, we just saw him go off the racetrack. Casey Brown still putting along. He's picked up a handful of spots, so just by continuing onward. Travis De Leon not coming back out. He's been there for 25 minutes. Hunter Rupp out of the race, as is Zach Amon. Jacob Blakely. Daniel Pendergrass has been on pit road for a while as well. And Drew Joie never started tonight's race. He was in practice and then didn't start. So there's the field rundown. But the main point to take away from that is Nick Miller out of the race. Michael McElroy tentatively out of the race. While Travis De Leon, Hunter Rupp, Zach Amon, Jacob Blakely, and Daniel Pendergrass are, in fact, out of the race, confirmed. Ooh, both teammates, they're very loose. They'll hang on to it. Here's another battle. This is for the last spot in the top 20. The 53 trying to apply the pressure.
What is that?
What is what?
Is that notifications from like Sleeper or something?
What?
Like there's an alarm in the background.
Huh. Oh, look at the blocking there. They're going at it. Let's see who's braver on the brakes here. William Bowman has the inside line. And they both overscorch. Little wheel hop there. All four wheels Dukes of Hazzard style.
I might be losing my mind. George Pickens, 71-yard reception. for a
Bomb.
touchdown.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Ah!
I am now 3 points back on my fantasy in Sleeper.
I need Derek Carr to stop performing. Stop it. Just run out the clock. It's the Carolina Panthers. Please just run the ball the rest of the game. But here comes Talmadge in. Brandon Bowers did come in and pit, by the way, so Sartaj Mann is the race leader. With 6 laps to go. He pitted on lap 13, so he's going to be asking a lot for fuel. Brandon Bowers 23 seconds behind. We'll see what kind of lap times he's running, in case it turns into a fuel mileage race. Tony Scarbo in. Saints have been run heavy all game. That's music to my ears. I Mickey Mouse that fantasy one.
He said that, but like, Derek Carr had 33 attempts, or has, going into the fourth.
They must just be all like screen passes, so. Ooh. Oh, by the way, I went from looking to lose the Rod Car one and win all the ESPN ones. I'm now pretty much projected to lose all 3 of the ESPN ones. What a turnaround. There is multiple people that said they just wrecked. Chris Pinder here. Ooh, this is into a deep braking zone. Oh, Dolly! That was close for Dolly.
What?
Steelers defensive touchdown. Excuse me? Listen, there's so much going on football-wise. Tenold gets turned by Failovich. There's Ryan Tiller. And that's a 3-car incident there. Does Sartaj Mann have enough fuel? But this is a...
I don't believe Corbin. I've got the play-by-play up next to the stream.
It has not updated.
He's behind us. It was the Pickens touchdown.
What a dummy. Man getting me excited like we're about to go up 2 scores. Sartaj, I mean, he has a 20-second lead. He put it on lap 13.
And unless he starts saving this lap, I don't see him saving.
He would have to go 15 laps, which is far more than anybody. He's running slower than his best lap time, though, by about a second. But it's consistent 212s, though, which is not indicative of saving. And here he comes this lap.
He's going to have to make it fast. He's got 22 seconds.
It won't matter. Bowers will be easily back in the lead. He has to go all the way down pit road at 45 miles an hour. And here comes Bowers off the final corner. Yeah, you wait about it's a 40-second pit lane time. And you'll see here's a pretty good shot of it.
I don't even think he's gotten into his box
Bowers
yet.
over the hill. And back into the race lead. Dominant performance back on track. He might have been worried there for a lap or two. And he goes even quicker. 2:10.2. And he is absolutely flying with 4 laps to go. The battle for the 10 Old Galvin Esports new CEO looks to be
Going to Galvin.
in 17th. Jonathan Dolly a minute and a half behind with Andrew Tenold, so these two are running right next to each other. But Devin Galvin, he already owns half the team, appropriately named Tenold Galvin. Will just be Galvin Racing after this. We'll see what kind of changes he implements. He's having a nice night, up 10 positions into the 17th position. Not a natural road racer, so he will tell you that this is a big result for him to, finish inside the top 20 and to, have some bragging rights over his teammates. And then for him, obviously big shout out to TGR in all seriousness for sponsoring tonight's race. And what has been an action-packed race.
When are we having the YJC race?
We're putting it at a track that I know you guys can't catch me at. It's fine.
I'll just corner bomb you and give it to Corbin.
Then listen, that'd be the worst decision. I'd rather have you than Corbin. One of us has to win. But yeah, it's a 20-second lead for Bowers. It is comfortable. You just kind of bring the car around 3 more times. A blistering pace with only 13 drivers on the lead lap. Got some food discussion in chat. I haven't been privy to. I don't really know. I can't input on that. Poutine? Ketchup flavored chips? No. No good. All that. I don't even know. But we're kind of in that stage of the road course race where everything is spread out. All the mistakes have been mostly made, and it's kind of locked them into a position. Thomas Green, 1.2 seconds behind, or ahead of Justin Johnson. So that's probably the closest one. As guys continue to go off the racetrack.
We'll have to get confirmation from race control about
The incident points record.
because I think there's a chance Herviton is above it.
We can take a look at some moves that were recently made. I do believe this was... Let's take a look here. Kyle Ritchie. Yeah, Jarrett Talmadge goes off the racetrack. That was last lap. And he'll go through. And that's why the battle's not close. Because the mistake was made and the 76 went right through. So, I mean, if that's how quickly it happens, and now Talmadge is 3 seconds behind him. So that's how quickly they get spread out. No moves have been made for position here.
Really can't believe just the pace that Brandon Bowers is on. He is 20 seconds ahead of second place. Like, we had such good battles at the start of this. Man said, I'm good. I'm just gonna walk away.
I'll give Cade McClenny his due. And Sartaj, man, they did get into the 2-minute 10-second bracket. But they're still half a second behind Brandon Bowers, half a second. 20.10.2, 20.10.7. So Cade McClenny, the fastest, second fastest car on the racetrack. And he is 26 seconds off the race lead. That is also due to him starting at the back, due to being a next-up driver, the EOL. I would have loved to see how close he kept it if he started up front. Guys, still, that's a decent incident there for the 59 machine. He's trying to hold on to 16th. Let's take a look. And it's just continuing even through the entirety of the race, right at the end, there's still guys that haven't quite found that rhythm. Ooh, that was a big one. Big contact there. We saw what happened to Scarabo. Let's take a look at William Bowman. Looks like he had an incident out of the right-hander. Brandon French. And Chris Pinder. Let's back it up, see what happened to him. And it's kind of been the same thing all race long. People just overcooking the braking zones. But William Bowman, Brandon French off track 26 times each. Chris Pinder 36 times. That is incredible. And even the race leader off track 4 times. The only person who has not been off the racetrack is Sartaj Mayan in the 27 machine. And there it goes. There's nobody else. He was so close. A lap and a half, and I ruined it. There's nobody else, is there? No. That was it. That was our last hope.
Is it too late to pick Brandon Bowers to win the race, by the way?
That's who I was going to pick anyways.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it was.
Maybe. I pick him.
But here, we actually do have a battle late in the going here. But
Thank you.
our attention is with Brandon Bowers as he crosses the start-finish line one more time around. It is comfortable. It is 25 seconds ahead of Sartaj Mayan. The road course ringer. He's quick everywhere else, but he turns it up another notch here. And let's just ride on board with him and just see how smooth it is. A little bit of a wiggle there, but for him, loose is fast. We've seen it a couple of times. He's just absolutely sliding around the racetrack. Another close battle here, though. The 91 and the 9. This is for the last couple of spots in the top 10. They haven't even taken the white flag yet. That's how much the gap has changed. They are over a minute behind.
It's just how dominant this 11 machine has been.
He started in 10th, so he didn't actually nail the qualifying laps. But we knew that he had speed. And it was very quickly on display. Through Canada corner. Still a little bit slidey, but he's got the lap times to prove that that's his style. Consistent 2-minute, 10-second lap times. Nobody able to touch him. And through the final right-hander up to the main straightaway and blasts up the hill. For the final time, Brandon Bowers going to pick up his second win of the season in dominant fashion here at Road America. And our attention turns to battles elsewhere. Some mistakes on the last lap for some drivers. Has put Thomas Green under pressure. As they start their second half of the lap. What does the 33 elect to do? Thomas Green will take a defensive line here. Oh, maybe he won't. He'll open up the door. And he breaks super deep. The 33 is going to have a shot at it. How aggressive does he get? Into the final 2 corners.
I thought he would have ducked up under there.
He's going to have to move him if he wants the spot. And he thought about it. He gave it his best shot. The 13 will hold him off in the drag race to the finish line. And here comes the 9 and the 91. They were battling all the way to the end. They actually had a battle.
Oh my lord.
The 9 was ahead, but he was not on the preferred line. The 91 takes the spot back. Look how aggressive he was on the brakes there. And he made it stick, and he held him off the rest of the way. Andrew Tenold and Jonathan Dolly, they battled all the way to the end as well. Less than 1/10 of a second. This was the drag race between teammates, as everybody else is still finishing up their laps, but this was the teammates. Imagine if Galvin hadn't have been here, that would have been for the bragging rights, but Galvin comfortably ahead. As we go back to Brandon Bowers on his cooldown lap, as 13 cars finish on the lead lap. Last of them, Jonathan Schwartz, who just finished. And that is everybody. And he will burn it down. The winner here tonight, the battle of the TGR CEO 113. And let's go ahead and see if we can get him in here.
He's not in voice, but everyone else is.
He is. He's in his own voice channel. We'll go ahead and get him up here.
Is he?
Yep.
Oh, Jughead.
Here with your race winner, Brandon Bowers. Came out here to the road course. We know you do so well here. Qualified 10th, and I kind of remarked pre-race, I'm surprised that we saw you there. But on that first lap, you picked up 7 spots, and you're in that 4-way battle for the lead, and kind of just kept it clean and consistent all night, especially during that battle, and the top 2 made mistakes. You got ahead, and once you got the clean air, you never looked back.
Yeah, man, I just kind of got lucky that first lap. I don't know if I caused, like, Zach to get wrecked, so I'm sorry, man, but it was a fun race, I guess.
Yeah, this is our first time that we've been here to Road America. What did you think of it? As you know, we've been to Watkins Glen, I think, twice now in a variety of leagues. But what did you think of how this compares to a place like Watkins Glen?
I would rather race here any day of the week compared to Watkins Glen because you can actually pass here. Like Watkins Glen, like it's so hard to pass people. You just have one opportunity, and it's going into one. So, and here you can outbrake people like almost anywhere. And I just think this place is really fun, but might be biased a little bit.
A 25-second win, you probably wish we could race here every week, but I get it. We have the long straightaways, the heavy braking zones. It kind of rewards being aggressive on the brakes and being able to find those extra couple of seconds worth of lap time.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have won by 27 seconds if Nick didn't disconnect. I don't know what happened to him. I hate it for him, man, because he was pretty quick. But, yeah, man, I just love this road course, man. I wish we could go here every week.
I definitely understand it, but a dominant performance for you here tonight, like we expect on the road courses. Fillers comes home with an 11th, so not a bad night for the Jughead boys again. And you pick up your second win of the season, and we'll let you get any shout-outs in if you got any.
Shout out James Fillers. You know. I mean, he's the one that taught me how to run here. So if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have won tonight. And shout out Josh McQuiggan. He wanted to put this on the schedule, and it worked out really good for me. So I'm happy about that. And shout out Mason Parker. He's a homie. Shout out Tyler Waddell too. He's an associate.
Definitely. Well, congratulations on the dominating performance tonight, and we'll see you back here next week.
All right, see you, man.
Yep. Here with your second place finisher, Sartaj Man. He was in contention for the win early on, but then the speed of Brandon Bowers at a road course in a different area code than everybody else. I apologize sincerely. I totally jinxed you. You were carrying the only 0x, no off tracks into the final 2 laps. I mentioned it. The very next corner, you fly off the racetrack, so I apologize for that.
Yeah, it just didn't slow down.
But a 2x night, I mean, you ran off track twice in 28 laps, and that's a very clean night. That was actually less than Bowers, all things considered. So it was a clean, consistent night. You started third. We're battling early on. Led a couple laps, too, in the very beginning, too. Battled with your teammate, Nick Miller. So, I mean, it's a solid race from your point of view tonight, I would imagine.
Yeah, it was a solid night. I actually only had a 1x. The final 1x was actually I was looking at Discord and I was going to park it and I went off track. So it's a Fugazi 2x. It's not really
Yeah, so
whatever.
yeah.
But yeah, it was a good race though. I mean, I don't really like this track. Kind of icky. I don't know. I don't like it. But I also feel bad for Nick. I mean, that's 2 races in a row now where he throughput. He definitely deserved to be P2 at least, or even winning. So that's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, definitely. But strong again from your team here tonight. Amon really never got going. Unfortunately, he was punted off really in the first turn. But it was a solid night. Again, you guys unload every week and bring speed to the track, and a variety of different racetracks, super speedways, road courses, short tracks. So it's got to be encouraging to know that you have this speed every week and you're able to keep it clean and consistent and battle for the wins every week.
Yeah, I mean, that is another top 5 for me, though. Hopefully we can keep the streak going a little bit. But yeah, I mean, overall, we were all relatively fast in practice. Unfortunately, Harden was with us as well. He got collected, so did Zach. And Justin ended up with a top 10, I think. So all things considered, we were fine.
Yeah, definitely. But congratulations on another solid performance. Definitely a strong season from your side of the garage, and you'll let you get any shout outs in if you got any.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank, I guess all the guys I've already said, Nick, Justin, Hunter, Zach, all the guys at Triracial.
Definitely. Well, congratulations again, and we'll see you back here next week.
Yep.
So see.
And here with our third place finisher, Cabe McClenny, up 16 spots, had to get the EOL, but a very strong performance from you again tonight. We've seen it pretty much every week that you've been here now. You go from the back to the front and provided the pedal cam, which was a unique look at a very technical racetrack. Just kind of talk me through that first lap and just kind of avoiding the chaos and then kind of settling into a rhythm there.
Yeah, road courses, I've learned it's all about rhythm and just not making mistakes. I ran the 24-hour Daytona 24-hour last few years and finished second one of those years. And the only reason we lost was because we were in the pits for 10 minutes after we wrecked. So you got to just limit the mistakes. And that's kind of all it was, just getting through that first lap. I knew it would be pretty much just survive. And then I could kind of set the pace and try to figure out what the strategy was once we got running. But all in all, it was a lot of fun making it through the field. I feel like I got to do this every week, and I start at the back, make it through, and finish runner up. So I'm like Tyler Reddick or Chase Elliott, just finish second or third, just can't get that win. But no, was a lot of fun coming from the back. I was proud of the pedal cam. That was cool view. Hopefully it got shown. But yeah, a lot of fun and just momentum and keep building momentum each week. And of course, it's all about making a rhythm and limiting mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. But another strong effort, like you said, it's just kind of that field spread, especially like with avoiding that chaos in the first lap, puts you not necessarily behind the 8 ball because you obviously got a podium out of it, but just it does put you behind a little bit with the EOL. But it kind of just shows you the consistency that you're able to do to come through the field of a road course where there's so much chaos going on, and it ends up in another solid finish for you.
Yeah, this is definitely not my favorite road course, but I'm all right at them. So I had fun. I knew that there was no hope in catching Bowers. Sartog, I was kind of catching him in there at the end, but didn't know. But I was hoping for another podium. But yeah, I knew that front two more likely wasn't going to catch. But once we finally got running, I got up to top 5 and thought it was an okay run. Then we got to third. So just keep chipping it off one at a time, and luckily worked out. But yeah, a lot of fun this race. Just got to thank Doug. Thank you for spotting. Dobit's Construction, and check out my YouTube, KO5.
Definitely. Well, congratulations again on another solid result, and hope to see you back here next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for broadcasting once again.
Absolutely. Here with your biggest mover of the night, Magnus Anderson, plus 24. And what the heck did you see there on that first lap and that kind of got you in position the rest of the way?
Chaos, just absolute chaos. It was kind of crazy to see. I don't know what happened in front of me. All I know is I benefited from what happened in front of me.
Yeah, just a crazy chaotic first lap, and then after that, you kind of settle into a rhythm. Limit the mistakes. What did you think of this road course compared to some of the others that we've been to in the past, namely Watkins Glen? How does this differ from one of the what can be considered an easier track?
Well, I mean, it's a really hard road course. So I did an endurance league a few months ago here, a 4-hour race in GT3s, and that definitely helped. But I've been practicing for this track for 3 weeks. I started at like a 216, 218, and finally I got it down to like 211, 212. So I knew I was going to be fast. I just needed to be consistent, and it didn't help not qualifying well, wrecking and qualifying. So it is what it is, but I'm happy with the outcome. We could add string of top fives, 3 to be exact, but last week we had auto fuel issues, but this week we just hit on everything and it was great.
Yeah, definitely. This has been a recent string of solid results. You've brought more and more speed to the track each week. Your second top 5 of the season, and without that auto fuel issue, like you said, it could be 3 in a row. But what has turned your season around? What have you found in the last couple of weeks to get these results?
It's a mix of motivation, and just practicing. I mean, I I I just I wasn't very happy with after Daytona and then having to sit out Phoenix and starting Kansas with negative 1 point, I believe. And then Kansas, I had a really bad race and I just left because I wasn't feeling it. And I just had to sit down and be like, I think too highly of myself and I'm getting too cocky. I need to sit down and get back to the roots of just practicing and just trying to find speed wherever I can and be fast. And that's kind of what I did. And it's definitely been showing.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a kind of a revitalization, and you're moving up the point standings. We know you got speed as you were a playoff driver last season, and happy to see you back up there fighting for some solid finishes. It definitely adds to the league, and we're happy to see you up there.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can get a win this year. The big thing is just making the playoffs. I'm a little disgusted with myself with some of the people that are in front of me in points that I know I'm better than. So I just gotta, sit down and just keep on grinding out good finishes, and we'll be there.
Yeah, definitely. But congratulations on a solid effort, and we'll hope to see you back here next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Here with Brandon French. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
You round out with a 22nd place finish, and I think you'll be one of the first to admit just not a style of racing that everyone is comfortable with, and you kind of had some off-track excursions tonight. What did you think of your first time at Road America?
Oh, I had limited practice this week. Took the family up out of state and tried to get as much in as I could Tuesday and Saturday. So it was all about rhythm, and I just couldn't. A couple laps I'd have it, and most of the time I didn't, as you can see from my incidents.
Right. Yeah, I could definitely appreciate, especially, not getting enough practice, trying to come in here cold. It's not the easiest road course on the schedule. So I can definitely appreciate the effort. I know it's probably one of the most difficult ones on the schedule, so I know you weren't the only one. But able to beat a couple guys and just try and minimize the mistakes as much as you could. You do end up beating a couple people, so trying to just maximize as many points as you can.
Yeah, it was a good time. Running on a road course was pretty fun. I mean, so hopefully next time we'll do a little better.
Definitely. And then Joshua McQuiggan, you come home 14th here tonight. What was your take on Road America?
I got wrecked 3 times in the first lap, so I'm not sure if I can really have a take because the car was pretty beat up. It was a lot of fun to drive, but the steering was bent, and yeah, I'm just desperate for points. So
yeah, steering issues on a road course, that's probably not a great combination, to be honest.
Nope. I felt like I was fast enough for a top 10, but a bunch of shenanigans happened, and
right.
Yeah, 14th. I'm fine with it.
Definitely. Yeah, you started 13th, finished 14th, so it's overall it's a consistent night despite those incidents. I mean, you finished top half. on what is a challenging track for sure.
Yeah, I guess that's a good takeaway, I suppose. It was just a very rough night. Very frustrating to get taken out when I know I had a lot of speed. I practiced for like 4+ hours before tonight. I was hoping for a good run.
Right. Yeah, I can definitely understand how that is a bit frustrating. But we head back to where do we head next week? I thought I had
Gateway.
it. Remember Gateway. Oh, that'll be it's its own little.
I have history there of doing very good, but Brandon Bowers was in my way last time. So
I remember that. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It should be a good one. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, and look forward to see you guys next week.
See ya.
Sorry, Nick upstairs.
How we doing, fellas?
How we're doing?
Depends on which lap you ask.
But we'll start out with the good. Randy Arms top 5. Started 6th, finishes 5th, and kept it pretty clean. Only 2 times off the track, it said. So had some rhythm here tonight.
Yeah, probably would have finished top 3, but I actually spun out on the first lap just all by myself, so that got me behind. I think I fell back to 12th or something, so had to kind of claw back through the field. Didn't take any tires the whole race to try to make up some time and have shorter pit stops, so I think that helped a little bit, and was able to have a fairly clean race and bring home top 5. So after I don't even know where we raced last time. Was that Richmond?
Vegas.
Vegas. I don't remember what happened to me at Vegas. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I think that was the 4 wide that went wrong, I think. But
that's right. Yeah, I was in that just a little bit, and haven't had the greatest of runs the last couple weeks. So to come back and get a top 5, that's we'll take it.
Yeah, definitely. Ryan Tillery, you said depending on what lap, you come home top 20. Only 5 off-track incidents, but when they were happening, they were kind of severe, you could argue.
Yeah.
Involved more so than others.
I guess that's what I get for checking up for people spinning out in front of me. Just lap 1 had somebody just not patient, I guess, and not paying attention. Took us out in the carousel. It was not fun. Damaged the toe a little bit. Ran around for a little bit and then caught Pinder. And Pinder had just an unfortunate place. I locked my brakes up and I couldn't go anywhere. So happened right in front of pit road entry, and I said, I didn't say screw it, but I said screw it, and went and pitted. Talked to Pinder. There's nothing he could have done. Like looking back at it now, there's nothing he could have done differently. And I was locked up on the brakes. I was sliding. So just unfortunate. I feel definitely confident we could have gotten a top 10 or around there and came home 18th. But oh well, that's what you get, I guess.
Yeah. It's road course racing, so it's definitely a different style and not one that everyone's used to. But we'll just see how you guys do at Gateway next week. Schwartz did well from the next up. He came home 13th tonight.
Yeah, not bad for having to start in the back, but got through the melee at the beginning and just kind of kept it as clean as we could. Got off track a few times, but didn't wreck it, so that's always a plus.
Yeah. And then Casey Brown, you kind of came in and just said, we're just going to do it live, coming home from a baseball game, not able to get the practice in before the race, and you just kind of clawed for as many points as you possibly could tonight.
Yeah, I just tried to wing it more or less. Didn't really. Yeah, I don't know. It was awful. I'm really waiting for you guys to send me a message tomorrow and tell me you've cut ties with my JP sponsorship. So I wouldn't blame you.
Nah, but, it's all right. If you saw how Art and Corbin did a road course, you would understand. So it's all right. Just appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, Art told me what was going on. You said you had a baseball game and they had pre-registered you, so I appreciate you coming out and getting the best result you possibly could. So,
yep, for sure,
definitely. Well, we will see you guys tomorrow night. A lot on the line, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Alrighty,
thanks guys.
Yep. Here with TGR and Devin Galvin, you already had half the team named after you, but tonight's race, appropriately named Battle for TGR CEO, and you have won the bragging rights or the job, whatever you guys decide to go forward with a
Going on
17th place. You get a 17th place finish, and you lock down the win here tonight for the team.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Andrew's talking about because it's the CEOs that get paid and take the vacations. So I don't know, Andrew. You might be getting some extra hours this week.
Oh,
But
man.
anyway, I decided to pick Road America for that because I mean it just so happened that this week these two wanted to talk smack and say that they're the better TGR driver. So I thought we would settle it once and for all with this little friendly competition. But none of us have ever driven NextGens at Road Atlanta. As a matter of fact, Dolly didn't even own the track until this
Yesterday
week.
evening.
So yesterday evening. So I think it. Other than Dolly, I think it definitely pushed Andrew to put some more hours in on the sim because he put up a session this week, which is unheard of. But it was a really good race for us. Even though we did finish a lap down. I gotta thank Andrew and Dolly for competing in this little friendly bout we had, and I'm just glad to get a good finish tonight and hopefully get a little bit further away from the bottom 30 in points here.
Yeah, definitely.
Any consolation, they were gonna fire me if I won.
They weren't gonna let you do the hostile takeover. They were
gonna beat him to win. We were gonna fire him on the last.
Yeah, Dolly's no longer a TGR. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, it's always good to see the banter between teammates. It's part of what makes it so fun every week, challenging yourself between teammates. Dolly not owning the track, and then Tendon, I just know that road course is just not in your wheelhouse. It's just not.
I put in so much practice for this week, and I had a lot of confidence, but everybody beat up on me, man. Like, Herbertson was beating up on me. Failovich spun me out like twice.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. My left foot was cramping near the end, going back.
Yeah, I also don't have the track, so we're gonna have fun.
Yeah, it just looked like a lot too, especially like these cars. Just the handling, and especially in the heavy braking zones. There's just so many heavy braking zones that they would just kind of refuse to stop for a lot of people tonight. They just would sail right off the track.
Yeah, they're really, really hard to blow up and slow down. It's almost impossible to get 100% brake pressure in those heavy braking zones. You really got to mostly rely on the downshifting and engine braking, and just kind of trying to keep the car straight while you're going while you're doing that. And
the good news is you can be aggressive with the engine braking in these cars without doing any damage.
That's what I had to turn on auto blip just to be able to manage it, to be honest. But it did work out pretty well for the most part. I did spin her a couple of times. I did go off course a little bit, but not too much. Luckily, it was enough to stay ahead of those two knuckleheads. So I'll take it.
All right. Well, yeah. Appreciate you guys sponsoring the race as always. Love having you guys on board. You're a fun bunch, and the inter-team rivalry. I'm sure this won't be the end of it by any means, but Devin, put them to work, and looking forward to seeing you guys back here next week.
Hey, broadcasters, before you bounce out of here.
Yeah,
we'll see you at Gateway.
Yep.
Before you bounce out here, quick
I'll
thing
see
for you.
Wednesday, buddy.
Did you guys?
No, they don't
does
broadcast
Pinder now
Wednesday.
hold the one race record for incidents because he had a 49X.
All right, we're gonna let you go, Max.
I think it was Pinder that reset it tonight. I think. I think the previous one was 40X by Nick Cashman, I believe.
That guy.
That
right.
record almost got broken.
I'm surprised it wasn't a Bagley moment that.
Oof. Well, all right, yeah.
Hey, I don't think we're supposed to be mentioning him.
It's all right, fellas. All right, fellas. We'll catch you at Gateway.
Yep.
He said, "Wait, what?"
Here with TTSL Motorsports, Alex Chira was having a solid night, and he'll be the first to tell you that just that pit road speeding penalty cost him a shot at the top 5 or maybe even better, but able to rebound to a 10th place finish here tonight, so it's not all bad. Your first top 10 of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it, man. I really wanted that top 5, practice a bunch just for this race. It just sucks that, 1 or 2 mile an hour just sets you back 40 seconds. Almost had Jared at the end. Caught Kyle slightly. Didn't think I was going to fully catch him, though, even if I had a few more laps. But, I mean, I'll take a top 10. It is what it is. I'll just try to move on to Gateway and hope for a better result.
Yeah, definitely. And Kyle had a solid race going, very consistent as well, picking up your 4th top 10 of the season. qualified well, and it's like you guys brought a really good piece here to a road course that is by all means probably one of the most challenging on the service for the NASCAR side of things.
Yeah, it was going well, and then I lost talent that I don't have, and then I found my talent again and finished 8th.
Yeah, we heard a lot of guys talk tonight about rhythm. They'd have it one lap, and then the next lap they just wouldn't. And then a lot of guys, and we saw it a couple times from each of you. It's just like it was hard to get the car slowed up in the braking zones. It was just easy to kind of carry a little bit too much speed and kind of run wide a little bit.
Oh yeah, I would hit one lap in like high 11s, and then the next lap would be a 13, and then the next lap would be a 12. Super consistent for me.
Yeah, but you lead the team here tonight with an 8th, and then Alex 10, and then Failovich was involved in a lot tonight. He comes home with.
He hit everything but the pace car.
No, I didn't hit the pit wall either.
Didn't hit me.
But you still come home 12th. It was a lot going on tonight, but I mean to rebound to a 12th, definitely not a bad night there.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until I looked at the replay after one of the incidents. That when I saw the replay, my car looked like if someone punched it from underneath with a hammer. The splitter was like a weird, almost looked like a pierogi. The only way I could describe it. It looked like a pierogi. But the only difference is the pierogi's actually good. That splitter was just...
not doing you any favors.
No, this thing, like I would have it where I would run the corner how I did in practice, and it'd be fine until the middle of the corner. It just turned into a cargo ship and just wouldn't turn.
Right.
Backed it up, same thing. It was, yeah.
Yeah, it looked difficult for a lot of people out there tonight, but you guys persevered and got 3 solid finishes, all things considered. 3 lead lap finishes as well, so that's pretty impressive with what the pace the leaders were tonight. So
yeah, we were definitely we saw the laps, and we would every time we hear his fastest lap, it would just all be a collective goddamn. But overall, we didn't hit anybody on we didn't hit anybody on our team.
Not one of us did.
We didn't hit anybody on our team this week.
No
We improved that.
violence.
We had lead lap finishes with that speed. It's a good night overall for the TTSL Motorsports Racing Incorporated, presented by Dale Jr. Boys.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it. You'll take this and move on to Gateway next week, and we will see you there.
Can't get much worse.
All right, fellas, we'll see you next week.
All right, have a good night.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank
you. And last but certainly not least, the CMS boys. How we doing?
What up?
There.
I'm here.
The man, the myth, the legend, Chris Pinder. Yeah. And
after the race, I actually called Road America and offered them some free gravel and asphalt to put some banking on that track.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrible. If you like that track, I don't know who hurt you in life to make you enjoy that, but
it was not.
The track is so bad. I didn't watch the real races when they were there.
Right.
No one did. That's why they left.
Oof. The Midwest gonna be coming for you.
All 14 of them? I'm so worried.
Oh man.
Bring your snowsuits. It's cold here. I'm not scared.
If there's one saving grace, it was not a last place finish. I mean, you went off. The numbers don't lie. You went off the track 36 times.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And it was not last.
Stupid fucking track.
So I can definitely appreciate the person. You kept going though. You were like, you know what? I don't care. I'm just gonna keep going. We're just gonna drive.
Yeah, no, looking back in the situation, I should have just done the A Open at 8:30.
Right.
It would have been better for everyone.
I'm trying to. Yeah, it's just not something that a lot of people do, and you were far from the only person that was having.
People don't do it 'cause it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say it.
William Bowman top 20 in what was the best paint scheme of the night, by the way.
Woo woo! Thank you.
We're really good for 2 drives though, the Steelers, and then we just throw the mind-boggling interception, and it's just a weird game going on right now.
Oh, nice. That's great. I haven't seen any of it yet.
So. I could we are winning. I'll give you that. I won't tell you what, but
well,
we are
that's all that matters.
we are somehow winning right now. We do have the ball. And I'll
Awesome.
just I don't know if you have it recorded or if you're just gonna watch the second half live, but it was an interesting first half. I was glancing at it while Pinder was going off track every other lap. And
My fault. It was a stupid track.
But yeah, it was a
dumb track.
It was it was a weird first half. That was for sure. But
like nobody before the season was like, put Road America on it.
I heard McQuiggan was big in implementing it on the schedule, so you get.
Yeah, he was. No, he was.
Yeah,
he's also like 4.5 years old, so that makes sense.
Nice. It's funny. Pendergrass was typing in. He's like, I'm not out of the race, but he's like, I went to the end of pit road 3 times and then towed. It was kind of funny. It's like I'm still racing.
He still finished ahead of me.
No, you beat him.
No, I beat him, but he has more points than me at the end of the night.
Because of the. Oh, that's Galaxy Brain. Oh my. And then Travis 27th is just one of those road. It's a road course, so.
Dude, I just literally, damn it, sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't care. It's fine.
I was ripping around there, just cruising along. I had an itch on my nose, and I really quickly went to itch that fucker, and just didn't even pay attention where I was. My focus was on the feather itch, and that was it for me.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I can't even I don't even have an excuse besides I tried to itch my nose.
Crazy. But we headed back to it's not even the most normal of the ovals. It's a gateway. It's a little weird son of a gun. But it is a 1.5 mile oval, so.
Yeah, another terrible track. How crazy. How crazy. We raced another terrible track.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Anybody know any money like leagues? I'm looking for something new.
McQuiggan, you're under fire here, bud. Defend your honor. But yeah, it's Road America.
I've been drinking. I didn't want to do the sober.
Hender's not used to racing at skillful tracks.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's Road America at the end of the day. You guys were far from the only ones that were having troubles. It was everybody below 5th, I think, went off the track. So,
Who was the most trouble tonight?
What was that?
Nick Miller's internet provider.
Yeah. Pulled a Brandon Bowers of season 1, to be honest with you. That's crazy.
Twice.
Yeah. And then we couldn't get lined up properly. It's just road course racing. It was solid.
I mean, that's the whole start of the race. That's just how it was.
Yeah.
But that first lap, there was shit all over the place.
Yes, there was.
That was crazy. I liked it. Absolutely.
Definitely. But it was an interesting race. Interesting night of Monday Night Football going on at the same time. It was fun. And looking forward to next week.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, fellas. Well, y'all have a good one, and we'll see you tomorrow night, hopefully.
Good night.
Good night. All right. Yeah, that was a certified road course race, 100%. It was. Mark, your final thoughts.
Stop letting Brandon Bowers run these races.
You should just give him first place points and then let everyone else actually run for the on track win.
Or just put a target on his head. Bounty gate it. 2019 Saints it.
But
2009, not 19.
But 13 cars finished on the lead lap here. 27-second margin of victory. Dylan Herberton with a shock appearance from pole, bins it immediately. What a crazy race we had in those first couple laps.
Can I give my shout outs to NFL young boy George Pickens for 16 points in fantasy to secure me a dub?
Yeah, but we officially had 31 drivers here tonight that took the green flag. And we'll be back here tomorrow night for the LSRL Xfinity Series round of 4 race at Michigan. And this Friday night, Rod Car, they got, I believe this is their second to last race of the season, as that championship has been blown wide open as they head to Daytona in the NextGen. It is 2 races left, so be sure to tune in for that as this seasons are starting to wind up for their championships. And then next Monday night, we'll come back here to Gateway. Y'all be safe, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Y'all take care.